This past week, the priests of the diocese gathered at the Cathedral of St. Jude the Apostle, on both Tuesday and Wednesday for two distinct celebrations. The celebration on Tuesday was for the 25th anniversary of the Episcopal ordination as bishop of our former bishop, Bishop Emeritus Robert Lynch. On Wednesday, we gathered for the funeral of a wonderful senior priest of the diocese, Msgr. John Neff. Some of you might remember Msgr. Neff from way back when he was pastor of St. Vincent de Paul in Holiday. He was also pastor of St. Paul's in St. Petersburg, and then went to the other St. Paul's in Tampa. I see a deep connection between these two celebrations and the theme of today's gospel reading, the authority of the Lord. At the beginning of the gospel, we heard that Jesus taught as one having authority, not as the scribes and prophets, not as the scribes and Pharisees. At the end of the reading, the people claimed that his is a new teaching with authority. The two celebrations of this week revolved around authority, but in two distinct ways. In the first celebration, we recognize the authority that was conferred upon Bishop Lynch when he was ordained a bishop 25 years ago. This was the authority invested in the church by the Lord to raise up successors to the apostles. Bishop Lynch was ordained to continue the work of the apostles as the head of a diocesan church. He did not have the right to become a bishop. He was chosen. So also, no one has the right to become a priest. Father Kyle Bell is brilliant, as you know, but he never had the right to become a priest. He was chosen, ordained by the church to serve God's people as a priest. And that's the same with me and all priests. I went through a 12-year formation program before I was ordained. Even after I completed those 12 years, I didn't have the right to be ordained a priest. Priests are chosen by God. Their authority is conferred on them by the church. The church has the authority, not the candidates to the priesthood. The same could be said about those who are ordained to the permanent diaconate, Deacon Sam, Deacon Mike, and Deacon John. They didn't have the right to be ordained. Authority was conferred upon them by the church. So one aspect of authority is that it's conferred from outside the person. We need to keep this in mind when we hear people criticizing the Pope, other bishops and priests and deacons. It's one thing to seek further clarification for something they say. It is completely a different matter to claim that they don't have the authority to preach and to teach. The Catholic Church is very different than many Protestant churches. Many Protestant churches see the authority given to a minister as originating from the people. A while ago, when I was pastor of St. Matthew's in Largo, I had a close friendship with Reverend William Sherman, who was the minister of Aldersgate Methodist Church. One time over lunch, he told me that he envied the fact that Catholic priests could preach the truth without worrying about serious repercussions from their people. Some may not like hearing what a priest has to say, but they can't fire him for saying that. The minister said that he had to support his family, and he couldn't take a chance that he might say something that would result in the congregation firing him. When a deacon, priest, or bishop are ordained, the Lord confers a change upon them that is forever. That's why we say the priests are priests forever in the line of Melchizedek. Melchizedek had no end to his line. He was chosen by God. A priest is a priest forever. You know, even if a priest should be suspended from the priesthood, or even if he's laicized, he's still a priest. That authority cannot be taken from him. He can only be denied the right to exercise the authority of the priesthood. And even here, in the case of an emergency, a suspended or a laicized priest can confer sacraments on a dying person. So someone who had been laicized, say for many, many years, perhaps comes upon a horrible car accident and he rushes to help, and there's someone dying, and the person pleads, I'm a Catholic. I need a priest. There's only a few more moments to live. The laicized priest can give the dying man absolution and anoint him. How is it possible? It's possible because the authority he received at his ordination caused a change in the priest's character that lasts forever. The second celebration of this week presented authority in a completely different way. That celebration was the funeral of Msgr John Neff. Msgr Neff was a kind, holy man with a down-to-earth attitude in life, and he had a great sense of humor. He joked around a lot. He always also had a profound connection with the Lord, and that led many priests to ask him to be their spiritual director. He had authority that came from deep within himself, and that authority was his union with God. Priests and other people listening to him could hear God speaking through him. He spoke with authority. You know, we have all been graced to live united with the Lord. And when we do this, the Lord will work his wonders through us, through our words and actions. He'll give us authority to do battle for his kingdom. We priests have many blessings, so many different experiences that we have, even within 1 week. But one wonderful blessing that you might not expect is the blessing of officiating at people's funerals. Often, a relative or a friend will give a eulogy, recounting the time that their deceased parent, relative, or friend led them closer to God by the way he or she lived, as well as whatever he or she said. Even though the person giving the eulogy may not express it in these terms, he or she is praising the deceased for having the authority deep within themselves to bring others closer to God. When Jesus spoke, evil was conquered. Demons came out of people because he spoke with authority. We can also receive the authority to conquer evil. We can do this by continually strengthening our union with God. Will we witness devils coming out of people? Probably not. Will we witness people changing their lives and seeking the Lord? Maybe, or perhaps not. Maybe people will come back to the Lord many years after we've died. They'll come back, though, because they will remember the Lord's presence in our lives. And they will remember how we spoke with authority. God bless you now.